Yeah, same, Corbin. I actually fell asleep, dude. I fell asleep and I woke up and was, huh? Trading halted, what? I'm not young anymore, so like this one thing I can't do, even when I was younger I couldn't really do well, is like stay up and be like this, you know, I need my sleep, man. Oh yeah, we gotta get good cracking on AVXL and all these other ones, yo. They're all coming soon. I'm happy to have a nice trade and keep going. I can look at all the things the Godel users want now. I'm very lucky that this trade came in my direction and I got all the time in the world. Not about all the time in the world, but you know, I got some time. This stock Weightwatchers. Well, you do know what Baxter is. Sometimes when I get these ideas from pattern, like big dislocations like this, and like it gives me at least an idea of like, okay, now let me look at it and see what, oh yeah, they're splitting. That's usually a bullish thing. I don't know why that would be bearish. Maybe I'll buy more 𝗠𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏. Yeah, a lot of my buying power is being sucked up by, I don't know what, honestly. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my buying power. Just selling the options, they have to like settle, I guess. It should settle right away. It's kind of dumb. Yeah, should we do the country-done reaction? Splitting is always bullish because the management teams can focus. Well, country-done, I guess he hasn't put out a new thing. He hasn't said anything. All these, yeah, I mean, has he not, you know, haven't heard anything from Tweedle? Should we go back all the way? I think we should go all the way back to this morning. Oh, this is good. Do you expect buyout to happen in the next 6 months after positive readout or sooner? That one's going on the wall. I think they'll scramble to buy it out. It will be like NVIDIA chips when they first came out. In bio. Yo, no way. Like hunting for stop losses. Oh boy. We could create FUD before the market opens. I'm just speculating here. Create that FUD. You know what's next. Serious FUD. How do shorts have so much access to 4 a.m.? I mean, I tried trading at 4. Robinhood won't take my order. Don't trust the pre-markets. Going back to 6 again. Shorts have some dirty tricks up their sleeves. Dirty trick like selling? Pressing the sell button? It's my dirty trick. Scott, what's wrong, man? What's wrong, Scott? What's wrong? Are you mad? You mad Brigetti's going to 0 next? Scott, I make 2 phone calls, I could send Brigetti to 0. 2 phone calls. Everybody here made a bunch of money. You? I don't know what you did. Awkward. This is great. When does trading actually resume? Once all the whales get time to exit and leave all the back holders. That's true. They get to trade before. It's not real until you sell. We're just long-term investors now. Okay, where do I fit this masterpiece? They get out during the halt. The guy keeps saying that. Oh my god. They get out during the halt. I got out during the halt. It's true. Tweedle left his own group. I mean, I'll take over the group if you want. God, placebo was strong, not gonna lie. God, this is terrible. Like, I can make 10 pages of this. Alright, that placebo is so strong, not gonna lie. I need to find a place to put that too. I hope Tweedle is okay, bro. Just on money. I'm actually laughing. I think he got lucky. Ah. Oh boy. Sign up to Godel with the code country? Oh my god. Oh, okay. Now we're here. It's GALT down so much today. Yeah, I want to look at MLTX too. I don't know if I have the time. You see how much time it took. I mean, I wasn't that nervous around Atyr, but you know, there's still a little bit of... The Tweedle lore is basically just some crazy psychiatric dude who, I don't know. I guess he made a lot of money on Archer? That makes sense? Thank you guys for signing up to Godel. Keep signing up. I promise you lots of new picks, great tools, great research. I can't believe I have a minute to think now. And I won't have to worry about sarcoidosis or tRNA. Oh, Joby, no more. I was actually just about to look for an expert, do an expert call with Opendoor. We're making an expert system that's like everybody else's. I mean, you can click a button and request an expert, and we'll go find the expert, and it'll either cost you some money or we'll figure out a way to make it happen for you. Somebody's got to pay the expert. It ain't gonna be me, all right? No, in all seriousness, there's the industry right now is basically two ways to do the expert calls. One, you pay and you have a call with them, and that's that. Two, you pay half as much and I show the transcript of the call to everybody. Or three, I pay and you see a transcript of me and the expert, or somebody that works here and the expert, for a lot less. These are the three choices. That's kind of the way most of the business model works. I don't know why a stock goes up or not. You know, that's something I don't really know much about. I went to school for the intellectually gifted, a place called Hunter College High School, because I was one of the highest achieving students in New York, arguably the country. And yeah, it was very advanced. Yeah, and so the expert is whoever you want it to be. If you say, I want somebody who's an expert in semiconductors to explain exactly what NVIDIA does, you know, we'll go out and try to find somebody that could do that, whether they worked at NVIDIA or they are a supplier or, you know, they're an analyst in the space. I mean, we'll have to figure out how to find them, but that's our job as the people who make the expert network. And obviously we can sell that expert services to another client. Yeah, it's not always the case, Brian. We visited Country Dumb, yes. No, not buy ratings, no. That's the whole point, is that around 25 years ago, Wall Street started this shift from sell-side research to, you know, something very, very different, which is these expert networks. And the expert networks, in essence, really put you in touch with people that really know what they're talking about. The problem is around 2005, I would say, a lot of the hedge funds got hold of the expert networks and started using them basically for insider information. And, you know, the expert networks kind of became accused of, there was this big crisis, that they're in essence facilitating insider information. And, you know, they fought that, obviously. And it, you know, insider information is insider information, whether or not, you know, somebody puts you in touch with somebody, you should know better than to trade on insider information. But the expert networks had to sort of survive that. They did. And then there's a lot of stories. And, you know, ultimately, they're still, you know, they're okay businesses. I mean, I don't think they're like the greatest business ever, but I do think that, you know, obviously if you kind of think about how does Wall Street do its work, that's one of the ways. I think that with Godel, you'll actually be able to get access to expert network, which for retail investors is basically impossible. And, you know, there's a lot of people who are retail investors that sometimes, one, they're rich. Yeah, definitely will. Two, sometimes they just have one really big position in a stock and they say, you know what, I will pay $1,000 to talk to an expert or whatever the number is because it's worth it to me, you know? Now, a big institutional investor, they're going to do dozens of expert calls maybe per stock. You know, you might not be able to afford that necessarily, but, you know, you can also, like I said, you get half price if you're willing to share the call with the transcript of the call with everybody else. And then if you're really a brokey, you can just read everybody else's transcripts. There's sort of three ways to leverage that. But if you're not doing any expert calls of any kind, I mean, you're really far behind the rest of Baker. You do 4 calls a day. God bless you. Who are your vendors? And let me be a vendor. You know, Baker, come on. Tell me some business. Are you on Godel? Yeah, I mean, look, you have to not trade on insider information. That's just plain and simple. You know, there's no way getting around that. I mean, just, you know, the closer and closer you get to insider information, the more and more you have to be careful not to trade on it. And that's really it. Well, I guess I could be an expert on certain things, maybe pharmaceuticals or certain software packages or things like that, but but I don't know if I would do expert calls for stock picks. I mean, it's not exactly the way it's supposed to work. It's supposed to be, you know, industry expert. Look, if you want to take the chance of trading on insider information, I mean, that's crazy. You can do it, but, you know, it's the easiest crime to get caught on. I really don't recommend it. I mean, I've never insider traded because it's, for many reasons. I mean, one, it's obviously illegal and dangerous and unethical. Two, it's very easy to get caught. Not that that makes a difference. But three, you know, the reason I invest is not just to win and make money. It's also to be good at the game. You know, I love the game. And that's a very different thing from just, how do I cheat at the game and get better? There's no benefit to cheating, right? It's, in the long run, you want to be a great investor because that pays dividends on itself. You cheat once or twice, get ahead, maybe make an extra mil or 5 mil or whatever. First of all, you know, it's going to come back to you. And second of all, you should be spending your time training and getting better at investing. I agree with you, the sketchball trading. I am the game. Shout out to 𝗕𝗂𝗊𝗄, my favorite WWE superstars and a great guy. It's very easy to get caught because the SEC will just look at who traded, especially if you use options. They'll look at who traded the options just before and say, okay, let's call these people up. Hello, do you normally trade biotech stocks? Okay, why did you trade this one? You know, can we see any subpoenas of phone records? Did you call any people that work there? Oh, we matched these two. And before you know it, it's 1, 2, 3. Now, especially if the person just opened the trading account, they just wired 50 grand, they just turned the 50 grand to 2 million, and they hadn't made a trade in that account in 6 months. Come on. It's very easy to figure out. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you how to try to evade that. You know, you shouldn't, because like I said, it is unethical. You know, ethics are important to me. You know, a lot of people, for some reason, don't think that. That's not true. Ethics are the most important thing in business. I've always strived to be as ethical as possible. You know, pharmaceuticals, again, I won't belabor it, but they require very tough trade-offs that are difficult to navigate, and certainly hedge funds do too sometimes. But, you know, be that as it may, you know, I think it's, you know, extremely unethical to think about, you know, that stuff. The reason it's easy to prove is that the tipper will throw you under the bus very quickly. You know, the tipper they'll call you, you might deny it, but the tipper's gonna right away say, it was him! I didn't know he was gonna trade on insider information. I didn't think he was gonna open his account and exploit the information. Yeah, there's a bunch of rules. There have been times I've been unethical, and every time is a deep regret. It's never worth it. Yeah, I don't think so, Brian. I mean, when a clinical trial fails, it didn't fail because of us. It failed because the management team made a bunch of poor decisions that wasted a lot of shareholder capital. And by making the right bet in the capital markets after the fact, after the money had been invested in the trial, completely irrelevant. We can't change the outcome. The outcome's deterministic. So we're sitting here hoping, oh, I hope my trade works. I hope the drug fails. The drug is going to fail or succeed, whether you hope it or not. So it really is not that relevant. Yeah, it's just not failing because we shorted it. That's for sure. That would be different. There'd be an ethical dilemma there, for sure. But, you know, that's sort of my favorite thing that some people bring up, because you can simply, you know, a lot of people, when they bet on biotech, they think they're helping the biotech. They're not. Biotech already raised the money. You know, they raised the money for the trial. You're not giving them money. You're buying stock from some guy who gave them money. Now, if you didn't exist, maybe the guy wouldn't give them money, right? But, you know, let's call a spade a spade. Let's keep it real. You're from gambling, all right? You got to stop. Without IP laws, there basically would be no biotech. I mean, people would still make antibodies because it kind of takes a while to make a biosimilar. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Fair enough, player. We need more multiculturalism in this office. This office is all Asian or white. I actually just analyzed what our clients at Godel give us. We made a lot of updates on Godel. We added international. We added sell-side research. We added some expert notes that's still getting underway. We added quantitative investing. We're upgrading options in a huge way. We have a great options engineer working in that right now. We added privates. We're the only terminal with private daily prices. Even Bloomberg doesn't have that. Pathetic. Boring. Yeah, the Open hired a really good CEO. He's honestly really good. Like, there's just not that many people that I would point to as a really great CEO. So it's a valuation short. Those are usually kind of the worst shorts. I mean, I could see Open go back to where it was. I mean, I feel like at the same time, like I probably would cover it like 13-ish or 15. Just get out. I mean, I'd stop myself out on Open. I don't want to marry this thing. I don't have the conviction. I can finally get some rest after this ATYR. I don't want to do these more than once a year, man. I guess I got immune as well this year, but Quantum was like a -1. So immune just got me back what I lost on Quantum. These Quantum people are going to pay me though, man. This is like, they'll pay me that money. Yeah, it's not a bad idea selling. Newegg was good. I'm not sure what you're saying, Brian. My P&L is right on the screen. Yeah, I was down 50% on this account. At the bottom, I think it was down 60. Timing's always difficult. There's still 1 or 2 more this year that are possible. But again, part of it is your energy. Like I don't know that I have the energy. I got a lot of other things to do. Got a new baby boy. No, I'm back in quantums, of course. Never let up. Yeah, I got lucky, JoJo. But I'd also gotten unlucky other times, so. But I do count my blessings for that. That IonQ Analyst Day could have been. No, I'm bullish on Sarepta. There's just a million stocks to discuss. I can't get to every single person's comments. No, I go long and short all kinds of things. I'll trade anything. Once we get our futures and stuff like that, I'll probably start trading that just to demo it for you guys. They just don't have like all the time and energy to do all the things I want to do. You got to focus. Man, that baby take care of itself, bro. He gonna raise himself. He don't need me. He like his dad, man. He don't need nobody. What he need me for? He got his mama. He don't need me. He don't need me. Shh. He can take care of himself. Some people need something to live for. If a stock is giving you that, that's not a good thing. That's what happened at GameStop and AMC. Those people had nothing else to live for. They're like, I want to be a part of a community. They're even saying open army, which is like anytime your company has an army or your crypto has an army, it's a good time to sell or short. That was pretty cringe. It doesn't help. Yeah, I mean, in the short run for Open, you're just gambling. In the long run, you're basically gambling that the new CEO can't make a miracle turnaround. Hey, $800. I'm in an army I'm fighting Wall Street. Yeah. AI is the hope for everything, isn't it? Yeah, you're not going to make every trade right? Yeah, no real updates. I'm just focused on Atyr. Yeah, we should look at the phase 2 a little bit, actually. I'm really happy you mentioned that because that's something that we should work a little bit on. I'll show you some stuff there. Let me show you some stuff. Here's the chest paper. My name, Dirt Dog. Yeah, so I want you to see something. So we're going to do a program. We're going to write a program. All right? You ready to have your mind blown? We made a directory called ATYR. We're going to change into that directory. I'm going to write some code. Ready to rock. fzo.py, that's what we're going to call it. fzo.py. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 simulations. We'll do it with the phase 2 actually. Phase 2 simulation. Vibe coding? Who said something about vibe coding? You know what? Maybe we'll make a class. What do you think? Patient. Yeah, new bladder cancer drug was... JJ's betting a lot on it. It's supposed to be really great. What's Michael jibber-jabbering about? Michael, I'm up 60%. I'm not short GALT. I made money on GALT. GALT fell apart after the data. I like the fact that GALT is gonna pay us twice. That's crazy. I love getting paid. After the phase 2 failed, we got paid. So it sounds like we're gonna get paid again. Sick. I love it. Yeah, they replicated. Sure, for sure. The pectin works. You're totally right. It's gonna be FDA approved. It's gonna go to $1 million a share. Totally. Fruit peel. And just eat some fruit by the foot. Wow. Look at Opendoor, huh? Yeah, we'll see how AI goes. Between Nebius and Oracle, it's a wild time. I don't know, Squeege. You gotta make up your own mind on that. Yeah, we're not huge on options just yet, Steven. I think a lot of the stuff some of those firms do is not even real, to be honest. But we hired a really fantastic engineer to make a really fantastic options product, so stay tuned. You can't squeeze the Shkreli. Our financial advisors recommend full allocation to ATYR. Let me put you on while President Tweedle. Hold on. Yep, I recommend you go all in. You only live once. Might as well go all in. That's what I say. It's generational wealth. What's that word you're saying? Wealth. No, wealth. Generational wealth. Let's say I believe these guys, okay? 𝗕𝗂𝗀𝗊𝗻𝗀. Math. You get 9 patients, okay? You guys follow me? Because some of you guys went to college, right? All right, patient 1, patient 2. There's 9 of these. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. You guys went to college, right? Some of y'all went to high school, college, okay? It says here that the baseline prednisone equivalent dose was 13.9 with a standard deviation of 3.3. Okay, so I'm going to do some random numbers here. Let's see. We're just going to take the average, and we'll take the standard deviation. Let me make this a little bit higher. Make this one a little bit lower. A little lower. All right. So 3 guys tapered to 0 allegedly and stayed at 0. Okay. Well, let's take a look. 1, 2, 3. Let's assume everybody else stayed the same. That's a 32% reduction. Okay, so they're -58 and 23.4. This data doesn't make any sense. Unless it's AUC. Now, it could be an AUC. I can estimate that too. But something's right about this. Even if you set the minimum variance, you still can't get that number. I just did a goal seek manually, but... And this is the straightest possible line being drawn. Suzanne, I didn't do this data. They may have finished there, but it's mean daily OCS dose. So they very well could have finished at 0, but it doesn't really make a difference. The chances that the stock drops if it fails are 100%. This guy is 62. This guy's like 74%. This guy's 70%. 37.5, so it's like 40%. This guy's exactly 75%. I'm surprised nobody's like a lot less, 45. And again, we're missing one, which is very bizarre. All right, so we got the first one here. Next one, -40. Well, there's one patient missing, which is very weird. This next is -64, -70. Oops. Took that one. -74. 45. And then minus 80. 12.5, 40, 45. There's no 48 here. So this patient is kind of missing. But what's beautiful about math is we can infer what happened. So these are the patients. Patient 4 didn't disappear. We just maybe don't know his value. Amazingly, maybe he got doubled up, and that's why, because sometimes you'll see in the graphics two stars in one. So this looks like this is what happened. So this guy would have been minus 5.8, minus 5.7. Go the way around, minus. There we go. So he was like minus. Keep going up. So this math might actually check out. I don't know what happened to this guy, but the math kind of checks out. A little off, but this one we had to impute. Actually 58.1, so let's see if I get a little bit more accurate. Not quite right, but a little closer. Alright guys, I will catch you soon.